Let's have a look at the LCD and what the advanced frequencies and modes are. Here we are. Okay, Schedule 2, permitted frequencies and emission modes for the advanced station. Now the standard and foundation, try again. The standard and foundation are subsets of this list, which is every frequency that an Australian amateur station can operate on, but you have to be an advanced to do it. A couple of interesting things. The lowest frequency, and you think my highlighter's going to work? Yes, it is. The lowest frequency that an advanced radio amateur can operate on is 153.7 kilohertz. That's very, very low. Very narrow band. Very, very narrow band, and you'd probably be using Morse code or some digital mode down there, very slow digital mode. But that would give extremely long ground wave coverage, as with this one here. But they're advanced bands only. This is the, I can't, can I write on this? Edit, because this is a PDF file. That's the 160 meter band there. You can get these bands roughly by dividing the megahertz into 300. Doesn't give it to you exact, but if you divide the megahertz into 300, you get how many meters the band is. But this band is known as the 160 meter band. That's advanced operators only. This band below it is the 80 meter band. The font's a bit big for this, and the 7 to 7.1 is the 40 meter band. Again, if you divide the megahertz into 300, you get the approximate band. Now standard can use and foundation can use. I'll cover the standard and foundation bands later, I think. So the 7 to 7.1 is 40 meter band. Again, this is the 14 to 14350 is the 20 meter band. The band doesn't define exactly the frequency limits. Let me just see. What's the mean between 14 and 14350? It's about 14.2. So let's try it. Let's go 300 divided by 14.2, and it comes out to 21. And you round it down, 20 meter band. And there's 18 to 18068, 168. 15 meter band, 21 to 21450, that's a big band. And the 10 meter band is also a very big band. There's a 10 meter band there, I should say. Alright, now the best way to remember all this is to get a band plan. I might see if I can find a... You get a band plan off the WIA website. It's a better way of looking at it than this. On the right hand side it tells you the modes that are available. For example, above 28 to 29.7 any emission mode is, you can use any emission mode. Below 28 megahertz your bandwidth mustn't exceed 8 kilohertz, except for a special case with special modes where you can't exceed 1 watt per 100 kilohertz bandwidth. So that's, they go a long way up. Alright, now what would I concentrate on for, what band limits would I concentrate on for exam purposes? I'd probably know the lowest frequency is 135.7, and I think the drills test you for that. I'd probably know the band limits of the 20 metre band, where it starts, where it finishes. I'd know the lowest frequency that can be used by amateur radio operators. I'd probably remember that below 28 megahertz you can only use 8 kilohertz bandwidth. You see, FM can be used below 28 kilohertz, and FM below 28 kilohertz has to be narrowed to 8 kilohertz, whereas above it's 16 kilohertz. Pay to remember that. Well, that's a DX window on 80 meters. That's the 40 meter band again, 30 meter band, 6 meter band, 2 meter band, 70 centimeter band, and so on. There's no way you can remember all of these. But like I said, the best thing, because the emission modes are now simplified, because there's emission modes permitted on all bands within the required bandwidth. So any operator can use any mode on any band that they're allowed to transmit on, provided they use the appropriate bandwidth. So I'd probably commit to memory the 20 meter band limits. I'd probably commit these as well, because you're asked a couple of questions, and you're asked the sort of question you're asked is which one of these is not an amateur radio band, or which one of these is an amateur radio band, and they like to pick on this one a little bit and this one a little bit. And the other thing to be careful of is see the 20 meter band, it goes to 14350. So how close could you transmit to the edge of that? That's 13.350. Could you transmit on 14.349? Because if you transmitted on 14.349 and your signal was 8 kilohertz, 6 kilohertz wide, or even 3 kilohertz wide, you'd go over the band edge. So keep that sort of thing in mind. Alright? But there's just no way you're going to commit all of that to memory, and I don't think myself that there is any need to do so. Alright? Cheers for now.